This will be a question and answer class tonight in the true sense of the word, because I'm going to be asking you all questions as well. I'd like to ask you all questions to try to figure out exactly where you are in your transformation by asking you all signs of transformation. Now, who can start by giving me some indicators that they know what the signs of transformation are?
The weather.
Okay, be a little clearer, a little more explicit, please. Thank you, son.
The weather. I'm saying we're shifting because of the weather.
Mm-hmm. The weather. Okay. And I think what I'm interested in, more specifically, are personal signs of your that you're shifting and transforming. Give me some of the signs that you know already.
Because, well, number one, I feel detached.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel like, I'm here, but I'm not here.
I'm saying that. Please mute your phone.
I can't get to the mute button. I got it's missing. Turn it off.
All right. Now, go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. So, it's like,
all right, man.
Like sometimes in between sleep and awake, I get these blue, like a brown, or I guess it's called an or whatever. This blue, like a royal blue, and it starts like it like spirals, and it opens up, and I feel like a different place, and then it closes up. I feel that I was a kid, now it's come back to me, but I mainly feel detached, and when I close my eyes, if I was really good, I also see the solar system when I close my eyes. When you said, like, the solar system inside of us, the stars and stuff. So yeah, it's like it's all coming like full throttle. Yeah, and it feels I feel different. Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, who else can give me some examples of signs of transformation?
Amun, before we continue with the Q&A.
Okay.
I'd like to say to the family that I really appreciate their love and light that they've sent, and let them know that my mom did transition, and that I thank everyone and I love them. So thank you.
And we love you. That's why we do it. Exactly. And I'm with your mother, and I'll make a special trip to her again tonight on your behalf, and let her know your concern for her again. Just a reminder.
Thank you.
All right.
She'll come back to visit you. Yeah, it's real.
Thank you.
That's what families do, That's what families do. It's all about love. That's the key to everything, isn't it?
Yes.
And these other creatures are all about hate and lies and blocking truth. Believe me.
Yes,
but the only amalgamation that's going to hold us together and get us there is becoming one and loving one another, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. All right. Now, we were explaining how you know that you have some of the definite signs of transformation that you have individually.
I have one.
When you're walking, like you're walking close to nature, just walking along around nature, just like hours staring in the sun, staring at the sun.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the signs that you know your transformation.
Okay. And now, please.
I've seen a couple of things that a butterfly just came up to me, just like really close, as well as a dragonfly, which I haven't seen a dragonfly in a while. But like,
they scarce like children, huh?
Yes, to piggyback on what the brother was saying, when you're out in nature, you feel more at peace, like that's your place. You just feel calm.
Yeah.
Yes. I tell you, a strong indicator is separation from the masses. You follow what I mean? And you can figure that out easy by taking the M off masses. What word would that leave? That's right. And then reflect on Noah's flood. Please mute your phones, ask to be respectful. All right, that's right. Because if the crowds are going one direction, you know to go the other. Right? Yeah, because they're under a mass psychosis, a hypnotic spell. They are following the drumbeat of you-know-who, the one that's messing with the phones, that thing, the ugly. All right. Yes.
Amun.
Yes, I hear.
You remember Monday night I was looking for Saturn, but we couldn't see that, right? So I laid down and I started to study the Schumann residence, and all of a sudden I saw a bright light. It was the planet Jupiter, but it was above the crescent moon, and I was like, how could I see that? And I'm in the house, you know what I'm saying? I went outside and I couldn't see it at all. And I jumped down and realized I saw it. I said, oh man. I said, I just saw Jupiter in front of a crescent moon. Now, mind you, there was no moon in the sky till after the hurricane went away. Now I went outside at night and I said crescent moon.
All right. Well, there's no time in the spiritual realm for sure. But that's easy for me to explain because I often see things inside the house with my eyes closed in the dark that people see outside looking at with their eyes open. So that's just becoming one with all, and that's a sign definitely that you're raising up in frequency in that same human resonance that you study. So bless you, Maror.
All right.
All right. Okay, Anukas.
A couple of days ago, I was sitting out on the front porch, and this pretty yellow, like Unc said, butterfly, it flew like across in front of me over to the other side of the porch. So I'm like, hi, butterfly, and it flew around the corner, and then it turned around and it flew back across me again, going to the other side of the porch. And then when it came back a third time, it just kind of like elevated, like flew up and out into the air. I said, well, now, that was nice because I remember having a butterfly experience while I was still in Lancaster because I like to sit on the porch. And this one was really pretty, like a blue-black, and he was bigger. And every day, somewhere between 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he would come and perch himself on the gate that was between the houses on that street. And he'd just sit there for hours and hours, for a long, long time, and he'd fly away. And this happened, I don't know how many times. Like a month or something like that. I don't remember the time that it was before I either went in the house before the weather started changing or something akin to that. But it was a really beautiful and spiritual experience for me because I was always kind of sort of scared of butterflies and flying things and insecty things like that. But I'm becoming more and more in tune to things of nature like butterflies. And that was a spiritual experience for me the other day when I was out on the porch.
Very good. I love that.
Thank you.
Mute the phones. All right. Now, who has the next personal experiences about evidence that they're making the shift?
Oh, I had one. Anukas just brought me back to when this happened like a week ago. I was walking downtown St. Pete, and I sat on the bench, and it was dark, and I was meditating for like 10 minutes. Out of nowhere, 3 ducks came up to me. They sat in a pyramid shape in front of me. It just sat there quietly.
Wow.
Okay. These are personal signs that you all are creating yourselves. The butterflies coming back, creating a pattern. Say it again, Amanda.
That's nice. That's nice.
It is nice.
Cats come to my house. You're gonna hang out in my yard, but cats hang out in my yard now. I'm like, wow, so that's neat. That's nice.
Yeah.
What takes you out your yard?
I see cats come over my house and go. Cats hang out at my house now. Cats, the stray cats.
Who's feeding them? You or your daughter?
Nobody. I'm not feeding them
Really?
not yet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they chase you out of your yard?
No, but they hang out in my yard.
Oh, I follow you. They love you then. That's right. They sense love there.
Awesome.
That's what attracts nature.
And I have one.
Animals. Okay, I'd love to hear it.
And I'm having more of the light flashing in my eye, like out of the peripheral. I keep seeing the bright light flashing.
I love that. And what colors are your lights you see? Predominantly.
It's predominantly a white light, and then I have to look to see where it's coming from because, I can see a flash in the daytime, but then when I'm painting at night, I'm like, what's causing that flash if I'm just sitting up in my room,
Wow.
All right, now, where's the flash? Is it outside in the middle of the room, in the middle of the air, or is it coming directly out of your eye?
It's coming out of my eye.
In the left-hand corner? In the left-hand corner of your eye?
Yes.
Okay, you are transforming. Hotep always has that. He still has it too now. But I'll tell you where it started. Before 2013, I was laying down on my back in the bed night after night, and then I would notice if this pure white drops of pure light, like plasma light, liquid light, coming through my ceiling, and I'm on the first floor in a 2-story building. So it was obviously dropping down through the roof, the attic, and then through the second floor, then down through that floor. And it was dropping right down where I lay my head, where I'm looking up at dropping right down where I lay my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I started standing back, and I was watching this liquid light and drops, and I was amazed by that. And I was thinking, that's crap, like I was not thinking anything like extraterrestrials. I was thinking that must be commercial crafts. And they're passing over the head, and they dropping something. Some kind of crafts, right? But later on, I realized that that's extraterrestrial crafts, and they're dropping that light in the same way that when Yahshua HaMashiach was in the Jordan, being baptized by his cousin, 6 months older, John the Baptist, that they noticed that there was a white light that flooded down on Jesus and went into his head. And in those days, they could only describe it as a dove because it was white and it was in the air. And the only thing they could think of at that time is a dove. But it was the spirit of the angel Gabriel that was dropping down into Yahshua and then ushered him into the wilderness. So that when John had him under the water and the Roman centurions were there, the authorities were always watching because they were looking for a cause to arrest and assault John because he had such a large following, and everybody was moving away from the Roman government and swarming to John. Very powerful man. And when he went to pull Jesus back up out of the water from the baptism by water, he felt all around the bottom of the Jordan and he couldn't find him, because Jesus had been ushered away into the wilderness to start his initiation. And that's when the Roman soldiers arrested John the Baptist, and eventually his head was taken and placed on a silver charger by the order of Herod for Salome, the daughter of his then wife, that he asked to dance for him and he would give her any gift, and she, by her mother's request, ordered the head of John the Baptist. Also, I want to say about that Jordan River, it was a small river, but I had this frequent vision, and this was years before I was taken up in 2013. I would be standing on the bank of this bigger than the stream, it was the Jordan River, and to the right of me, there was the tree of life. It was very green, and it had tall, I guess you could say, reeds, a lot of reeds. And across this glimmering water, there was Malachi standing there, and he was standing next to a tree too, and we would just stare across this water at one another without saying a word for a long time. And I have yet to understand all of that. But I know too, while I'm there, that I used to always wake up, and I was standing at the base of the pyramid, the large pyramid in Egypt, and I would look around the corner with expectation, because I would always see Malachi. He was looking around the other corner, and we would the same thing, staring at each other without saying a word at the base of the pyramid. And then he would always look up. He would always, when our eyes made contact, he would always let his eyes keep looking up, and I couldn't understand what he was talking about. He was trying to tell me something. Another vision I always had, and I'm just trying to let y'all know to be prepared for these things that's going to start happening to you all. I could be laying on a couch in a room, say, for example, and then there was a doorway to another room. And I would always see this being in there, and I would walk over to him and stand on his left side. And then I would look over around him, and I would also see another guy standing around him looking at me. And I never could figure out who this other guy was, or the guy that I was standing next to. But then I was reading the Holy Tablets about Malachi's initiation, about Amun on the left and Muhammad on the right, and Amun was the sin of musk and Muhammad was the sin of rose. All I'm telling you all is that these things are very true and very real, right? And then when you think about Malachi, you have to think about the many personalities that go through that vessel. 19 different personalities. So that you have to understand that it is possible to understand that you have a vessel of a man or a woman that can be housed or possessed by a very difficult or negative spirit at one time. But do you think it would be fair to judge that that being's entire existence because of that one negative spirit? All I want to do is give you something to think about. You follow what I'm saying? You know, is it possible that could happen to some of us, that we could be real good, positive beings, and then every now and then something come into us that's really not, it could be kind of ugly. Yeah. Well, do you want people to just look at you only as that? Even though I'm saying that everybody has a responsibility for everything that they project or traject. Are you follow what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to say that if you murder people or eat a baby that you can holler that the devil made me do it or I wouldn't to myself, right? You still got to be the one to burn, okay? Now I know that sounds complicated to you all, but who said this thing was simple? Right? Now that I've sufficiently shaken you all up and unnerved you, I would like for the next person to describe some of the signs that they know they're trying. Have you all thought about diet? Has your diet changed at all since you've been transformed? The way you eat and what you eat.
Eating like fruits and vegetables.
I know mine, Sal.
Drinking a lot more water.
Oh, all those things are excellent examples. More vegetables and greens especially, and a lot more water.
Sometimes I don't have the desire to eat at all.
Too as well.
And what, not eating at all?
Less meat. A lot less meat.
Just say it again now.
I said less meat. A lot less meat.
Yes, less meat. Yeah, that is a definite sign, less meat. Because the blood in the animals, that is their revenge for slaughtering them or hunting or killing them. As when you eat it, that's how they exact their revenge. By nature's call. High blood pressure, and it makes you drop down to a carnal vibration, very low, so that you think base like an animal or a beast. You think like them. You start becoming some of the attributes of that animal. If you notice, a lot of people that are older remember when a lot of old people sit around and barbecue or roast a pig or something, and they all sit around and eat that pig meat and chitlins or whatever. and they start sweating on their nose and sweating and popping sweat and talking. It looks like they start getting evil and shifting a little bit. And Lord, don't say nothing they don't agree with right around there when they full of that pig right there. And let them get a drink too. Yeah. And you had a whole lot of, strokes and heart attacks and things like that they would die from.
Yeah, that's true, Amun.
Yes, I know. Unfortunately.
Well,
all right.
That's a sign.
Yes, exercise. For example, if you have a car, you'll find yourself when you go to where you're going that you'll stop short of there and walk the rest of the distance. Or if you have something that you usually drive through a store that's only a block away, you find yourself, it's a nice day, I think I'll just walk today. Yeah, that's right. Exercise. You will find yourself exercising your body, which is just an opportunity for you to connect with nature again anyway, which thing you do love. Right. Because you're beginning to find out that nature is connecting with you because you and nature are one. Right? Which is the root of the word natiru. Right? Or netaru. Netaru. Very good. All right. Now, who has a question?
I have a question.
All right.
Go ahead.
Thank you, son. He asked that you go ahead first, please.
Thank you, brother.
I love you all. I really do. That is a sign of transformation right there, too. Go ahead.
It is. My question is, I've been waking up at 3:30, also more so than before, and I will just sit up and then just listen, because it's almost as like instinctively something is going on that I don't know physically, but spiritually and mentally I do. But I wanted to know, when a person transitions, does their consciousness leave instantly, or do they linger on this plane, or just what that process is?
Well, as soon as they make the separation, they have I forgot the exact time period, but they have a day or a day and a half or 2 days to contact relatives, any close friends, anybody they want to try to let them know that they're all right, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then separate from that, at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock, depends on where you are, what time zone, that it opens up the porthole to where you can connect with people that have crossed over to the other side of it, or they can connect with you.
Oh, okay.
And that happens every night.
Okay.
Some people call it the witching hour. They have many names for it. You follow?
Okay. Telehat.
Yeah. But I would suggest that as soon as, in the nearness of the time that she crossed over, that she's contacting you to let you know that she's all right. Now, the thing is strange about that is I wake up every night around that same time myself, just like clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And I take that to check the DVD that I'm listening to and looking at. Right now, I'd like to make a strong suggestion that all of you within the range of my voice search through your archives and packages and find a DVD that I sent you called 3D to 5D. You all remember that DVD, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Play that DVD every night without fail, all night long, and then when it stops, start it again. And don't miss the end 2 sections with the white man with the beard, the kind of older, thin guy. Open hand. Do not miss that part of it, okay?
Oh, that's a movie.
Well, it's not quite a movie. It's not a movie. It's a documentary. But it explains a lot. What I'll do is I'll share a little something with you all, if I can find it. Let me see.
Because I don't have a DVD player. I have to get one.
Yeah, Amanda, you have to get one. You have to get one right away. And I know that you have means, so you just have to realize how important it is to your transformation personally. You follow what I mean?
Yes.
It's very important to your transformation.
All right.
Yeah, don't be shocked that I know things that others don't know, okay?
All right.
Some people are shocked by things like that. But they're not shocked when I make mind links. That's puzzling to me. Now, you know I make mind links, but when I make mind links, you seem shocked. Now, why? All right. Let me just give you some of this, Amanda, and see if this... What does it mean to be raising your vibration into higher levels of consciousness? The 5D, for example. So, what is vibrational frequency? So the soul incarnates through the physical and mental and karmic as it does, so it tends to fragment. This is where the soul is getting attached to physicality. For example, or in relationships, you know, you get attached to your man or your woman or your children, your friends, you see, or to things, or conditioning from society. That's following the masses. Or from a childhood, or this kind of thing, you know, like something happens in your childhood that draws you back to certain events. And as the soul fragments, then what happens is that it creates identity that's plunged into the matrix of society in which we live. Now, what's being meant by the soul fragments is we're talking about the greater oversoul, of which there's one. But it can fragment and create the illusion of individuality, like you and me, here and there, a now and then. But we're all in the same place, the same one, vibrating at different frequencies, right? But we begin. But now, as you start transforming and making the shift, you're starting to blend back into one, and you're starting to have more empathy for your brothers and your sisters and their condition, right? Even though you haven't met them physically, you can feel the sister or the brother in their situation as if it's your pain and you share it, or your fear and you share it. And you can feel as if you're one with nature. You feel like you and that butterfly or those kittens or those ducks, that you're not separate, right? That there's some kind of connection, right? Which there is a definite connection. And really, then the vibration of your beingness is associated or identified with the physical densities of life. That means you drop down into a physical body, and you start thinking that you are that body. And of course you're not, right? All right. Now, how to raise your vibration? Let's think about that next. So what kind of practice is it going to facilitate you raising your vibration? Well, first, see being observant of oneself so that you can start to unravel attachments for a need for an outcome. You know, I have to work 30 years with my plan and then I'll achieve my goals, you know, not necessarily. By that I mean, we've been groomed by society to think that there's an order to things. You go to dinner, for example, and then the waiter comes and offers you hors d'oeuvres or a drink, you know, before dinner drink, then a course, and then the main course, and which would be followed up by dessert, right? But now suppose you went in there and asked the waiter when you went in there, when you ordered, please bring me dessert, and he would look at you confused like, why are you ordering the after dinner treat before dinner? You know, and then after that you order the next course, then you order the main course last, and then you order the drink. But you can do that if you want to do that. Why can't you? Why couldn't you do that? See, it's not true that, like you've been conditioned, that in order to have a house, you have to go work a job to get the money, and then go buy the things that you need, the materials, and get the people with the skills to help you, and then start building the house before you live in it. It's not true. In reality, You all could create the house with your mind and go and live in it and then build it later. But you don't know that because you've been so conditioned by society to think that you have to do this and that first in order for that to happen. A chain of succession, it has to happen this way or it can't happen. Who said that? The masters told you that. It's not true. Now, I know you're not used to thinking that way, but it is true. It's not that way. It's just people believing that it makes it that way. Just like they think you have to go out and look at something in the sky to see it. So when Maror or I say that we can see it without being outside, it sounds strange to them, like when you say you move stars. It's just hard for them to believe because it's not part of the programming that they had. It's outside of the box. All right? All right. You see, but a lot of times you keep these attachments for need of an outcome in the material world. And meditation is going to help greatly with that. So you're constantly internally inquiring and feeling the sacred ground of being, which is you. And this becomes more and more of your reason for being, rather than requiring something, some kind of outcome in externals. So meditation is crucial for that. And of course, breathing meditations. But all the meditations, you wouldn't. Okay, let me see. Let's start doing some, like inhale, everybody. And visualize a green and blue light, and then exhale and blow out everything negative. La. You notice how hard I do that. If you do it that hard and put that much energy into it, then you feel your blood vibrating in a sense of euphoria, like a runner's high. When you jog, you feel a high. But if you don't commit yourself and breathe hard, deep in, and exhale deep out, and you feel it and hear it like me, you are not doing it correctly. Now let's try it again because I didn't hear you all. All right, inhale. Now exhale. Hard. All right. Now, everybody that did that correctly, you can feel your blood vibrating in your body, in your chest. Yeah. You feel it vibrating?
And tingling sensation as well.
That's what it is. That's the spirit in the blood. That's the spirit in your blood. You feel it, right, Hotel? Let them know. All right. And you got it kind of you're not high like a drug, but you feel kind of floaty like. You follow me?
Sure, it had me dizzy.
Yeah, that's right. It's not dizzy, it's high. Like a runner's high.
A natural.
Yes, a little warm, right. Because the spirit is in the blood. And the spirit vibrates faster, so it's hotter. It's warmer than the physical.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, you do feel like you're high. You do. But you really be connecting with the spiritual plane. Becoming less physical. So always use that as a precursor to meditation. Is everybody clear? When you get ready to meditate, do your breathing exercises. And I have to really add to that. Make sure you use visualization. Attach a color to the air that you inhale. Make it a healing color. Green and blue is extremely spiritual. If you can mix those two, fine. And then when you exhale, visualize blowing out everything in your system that is unnecessary or harmful to your system. And just all I can add to that is make sure you breathe even deeper, inhale deeper, and exhale harder. And then it'll be a regular part of your spiritual exercises. So now you're getting keys just by being here, right? That's what what they fear. Okay. You meditate through visualization. I think we might come, at some point, you come to realize that you're living in two worlds, not one. Right? There's a spiritual world that you're visiting right now. There's a spiritual world that you visit when you dream at night. There's a spiritual world that you are involved when you see things like Maror, that other people go outside to open their physical eyes to see. Right? All right, that's the lower self that you have been connected through where the ego has been active, and that plugged into society, which Amanda was saying she's starting to feel she's separating from. But then now it's the high or higher self. The higher self is interconnecting with everything around you through synchronicity. Like Uncle was saying, 3:30 every morning, or the synchronized ducks, you know, that Kim was speaking about, etc., right? Let me say that again. Mm-hmm. It's the high self. The higher self is interconnecting or reconnecting with everything around through synchronicity, through inner guidance, through intuition. That's how she senses it may be her mother, right? Through high-dimensional modes or moods, and so you're more responding to the deeper meaning of life, robbing the lower densities. That's what's happening in the world around you. That's how you know that the human resonance is real. The world also, Geir, is raising up in vibration, or the human resonance as you look it up. So as it becomes more spiritual and less physical, the consciousness of the planet is shifting into a higher consciousness, so it's drawing all the resources out of the lower world, or robbing the lower world of energy and resources. So you're going to get less food. You're going to get less everything. Are you following what I'm saying? You see the shortages in the supermarkets when you go on the shelves. You can see there's people talking about less water and droughts, less drinking water. You even got less people. You see animals that you think are being extinct. It's becoming less animals, less trees, less everything. You even notice when you go out, those of you that are very conscious, as strange as it is, there's less children in the world now than there were before.
If I may add, Elder, they also on the city transit bus, they lessened the seats now on the new buses.
Really? You know why they lessen the seats on the new buses? Because they don't want you to notice the scarcity. The fact that when you get on the regular buses you got on, that used to be full, now there are a lot of empty seats, because you'd be thinking, where are the people going? In the same way that you drive around your city or walk around your city and you notice that there's starting to be a lot more vacant businesses and houses. And everybody is wondering, they're wondering, where are all the people going? They used to occupy these businesses and all these houses and places. Where are these people at? And so everybody in every city, okay, but you know what everybody's thinking? They're moving from here to someplace else. And when you think about if you put a name there someplace else, say Mexico or another state, then you don't know, but the people there experiencing the same thing, and they thinking they migrating to where you live. When everybody's asking the same question, where are they? Where are all these children that used to be out there with their backpacks and crowds, getting off buses? You could just hear them going in crowds too. So where are all these people at? What's happening, Amanda, is this. If you all look up a movie that I sent you all over and over called Left Behind, how many of you saw that movie?
I have.
I have.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
All right. So it was a spiritual experience. So that the people that were associated with God and kindness and love, those people were being taken up, right? And all the people that weren't necessarily evil, but they were attached to the system in the world. They were like physical in their perspective, right? And they never thought about spiritual things that much. All those people looked around on the airplanes and buses, and it was fewer people, and they were all wondering where the people went. The people raising up with the new world, and they're the ones that's being left behind in the old world. And unfortunately for those people left behind, when you go into the scripture, it tells you very clearly that there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, for the former things will have passed away. Right? And that'll be a sad day for them, right? Because they think they're going to be left behind on the earth in fewer numbers to do what they want for themselves. But without resources and without an earth, where will they be? That will be an unfortunate moment. So, I hate to be, trying to pressure, but what it is that it's our way or the highway, right? While they're playing games. Now, how many of you all have been watching the Florida hurricane event and tracking it on the news?
I have.
Okay. With that, I want you to realize that there hasn't been a hurricane, especially a major one, in over 4 years that made landfall in the United States. Is everybody clear?
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know that hurricanes are basically a weather phenomenon that consists basically of clouds, right? Thunder clouds, storm clouds, etc., right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you have witnessed me moving clouds before?
I have.
All right. So think of thunderstorms or hurricanes. That's a weather event. Now think about, it's been 4 years, but they're playing games with us in the media, like Facebook especially. There's going to be a lot of problems happening in every quarter of government and in society, with everything and everybody has anything to do with trying to block our mission, which is blessed and ordained by the real Creator, right?
Right.
So now, and then I want you to pay attention to the kind of people that are on the news talking about, oh my God, we never thought anything like that would happen to us. And then ask yourself, do you see yourself a lot? And what is the quick answer?
No.
That's right. You're not seeing yourself, are you?
No, you're not.
You're seeing other people.
No. Sure.
Right. And I want you to know, I want to be very clear about something. This is not a problem that we have between races like black and white. That's not it. It's about reptilians and angelic beings. But you have to first realize that reptilians are definitely not a race. They're a species. Are you following what I'm saying?
Sure.
A species of lizard. Right. So they can be black, so don't be fooled by your jet black brothers and sisters, because they're reptilians, and you can judge them by their nature. They have a very snappy, ugly nature. You notice? People that just, every time you talk to them, your vibrations drop.
Yeah.
They're very sharp and ugly. You can't even say good morning to them. What's so goddamn good about it? That's almost what they want to, that's a reptile, okay, in human form. And these beings, they were cast down to Earth from many different star systems. One of the planets is Mars, which backwards is wars. And they fought, Michael and his angels, against the dragon and his angels, and they, of course, lost. And they were cast down to Earth. So that's why you find a lot of the marks that you can find on Mars that are on Earth, such as the pyramids, especially the pyramid cities and the plains of Sidonia. So do computer search on pyramids, cities on Mars, the face on Mars. Write it down. Don't be mentally lazy, because otherwise you relegate what it is that I'm communicating you to the realm of beliefs. Amun said this, and I don't know whether to believe that or not. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. Check it out for real. And I'm not playing. Look it up and you find out that everything I tell you is true. So they were on Mars, and then because of nuclear wars, you want to know, well, what made them migrate away from Mars 450,000 years ago? Because there was a war in heaven, just like there's wars in heaven right now. Right now. And these devils that's playing with the phones and trying to cut it off, these are those reptilian entities, the fallen angels that are finally being cast completely out of existence, because there's no more space for that kind of ugliness, nowhere. They're being cast out into the outer darkness, the abyss, because they're putting their feces and urine all over beautiful heaven. Are you following what I'm saying? Now, when they were cast down to earth, they built up a lot of civilizations to these angelic beings that previously, you have to be clear, they used to be angels of light, just like you and I, in the heavens, until they rebelled against the creator of all creation, including their creator as well. They rebelled and were cast out and down. So they set up the evil worship, but they're the ones that built all of these ancient civilizations predominantly that you see in the world, even though you have 7 cities built up by the disagreeable and 7 cities built up by the agreeable as well, because the 24 elders are here as well. And they made it with many of the earth women that came to them freely, while the disagreeable ones just raped the women, right, and produced these ugly hybrids that you call Nephilim. These people can be identified with trace markers in their blood like RH negative, for example, right? Don't let them deceive you. They're really evil, and their mind thinks exactly opposite of correct and right. They're the opposite of good. And so when you look around civilizations like Sodom and Gomorrah, Pumapuku, all these overthrown cities under the waters, you can see that these big giant stone buildings and civilizations were blown apart. By what? It couldn't be wind. I mean, what was strong? It was atomic blast. And you can tell that by the vitrification of the sand and stone around that area that was turning the sand and the stone into literal glass. And to fuse sand or rock into glass takes an incredible amount of heat that can only be generated by nuclear fusion. Are you following me? So they know it was nuclear war. They were overthrown. Some of them call it the Brahma weapon. That's what the Hindus in the book of Andorra, and all these ancient scrolls, you'll read about the fallen angels and the war they had in the heavens. And now when all these cities on the surface were overthrown by the heavenly angels, what they did, the ones that were left, is they scurried and they ran into underground caves, and they set up civilizations deep underground in caverns and in caves, networks, right? You can research this. And now what you find, unfortunately, around the world is there's a lot more regular sightings of these lizard people, because they think that they're coming back up to reclaim the earth and create a new world order and a new heaven. You know, next time you see one of these ugly things like our people, they do, tell them to go sit down on their scaly ass and sit down and stop dreaming some crazy dream that'll never happen, okay? Understand, this war, this fight they're talking about is just like this. If you fight with a blowhard asshole that's all out of line, just tell them to go outside before the fight. Well, I'm going to go outside. Going outside. I want you to go outside and practice your falling. You understand, fallen angel? Go outside and practice your falling, asshole. Because this is a fight where you hit them and they hit the ground. Fight over. That's right. You hit them and they hit the ground. Understand? But these are big, powerful creatures in many instances, from green to brown scales and many other different colors. They can be very smooth and this, that, and the other. And some of them can appear to you to be beautiful or handsome and this, that, and the other. You find a lot of these pimps and demons and these enchantresses and women that seduce people, incubus and succubus and all that. And they bring so much hell to your life. They bring so much hell and pain to your life. They really do. These seductive enchanters, they're witches and demons. These are those fucking creatures. They're horrible creatures, horrible monsters. That's them. So much blackness in their heart, no light at all. And even when they do something right, it's for the wrong reasons. If they're giving the milk in one village, you can believe they're bombing the next. Are you following me? You can look at your commercials, and now every other commercial has some type of a reptile on it. If it's not alligators driving a car, it's a gecko lizard selling you insurance. Or sitting in the backseat of a car, and then on the screen he's projected to be a very big giant. Or a giant reptile looking like Gargoyle or Godzilla coming up to a 15-story window, looking in with his reptilian eyes, old rusty brown knot bumpy thing, and eventually breaks into a window with his claw and gets a handful of people to take out to eat. You're starting to see reptiles everywhere, aren't you, on all the commercials? Aren't you seeing that? They're trying to reintroduce themselves. They're trying to reintroduce themselves into your psyche to prepare you for their return, which is not happening, right? To prepare you for their burn. But in their mind, they think they're going to overcome the will of heaven or the Creator himself. This is the ego and the arrogance of those clowns that got them originally cast out of heaven, right? So what have they learned? What have they learned, family? That's right. That's right. And so what they think of is these fits and starts, this is the third and final conflict. They think that they're fighting battles in a war, but what it is they have worn out all of their chances. This was their final chance. Do you follow what I mean? To give up their stupid ideas and evil notions and quit being a piece of fecal material walking around with clothes on and rejoin the galactical heavens and divine love, of which they have none right in them. Are you following me? And it's so unfortunate because those of us that were sent here to you are here to gather the elite that are qualified to make that ascension and reconnect with the divine love or their higher self and not lower self so they can rejoin their celestial family in the heavens. Are you with us? You.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Yes.
That's you, Amun-Re. I'm glad to hear your vibration.
Yeah, it's me.
I'm glad to hear you. I'm glad you're here with us.
Yeah, glad to be
Can you
here.
share with the family what you just experienced yourself, what you went through, and how we stick together as a family? Did I stay with you?
Oh, yes. I had might have been a mango or something. I had some kind of stomach virus, and I called you, and I started to feel better the time I started talking to you. And you said, just wait till you get off this phone. You sure enough going to feel better. And that happened. And I was a whole lot better the next day. Woke up.
That's right. I love you because we are one. And did you get your package? We worked hard, the three of us, to put together a healing package for you. And
yes, I did.
some monatomic white powder gold in there for you. Did you get
right.
it? Because I paid to send it priority to get it to you quickly.
It came right on. It came right on, too.
It came right. Oh, I love you. I'm glad you received it. Well, bless your soul, and thank you again, because we all need to know that we have some place to go or somewhere to turn when evil comes to visit us. Are you following? And we all will be tried and shaken violently by those negative forces at some point in our journey. And if they haven't prostrated you with their evil touch, it's just a matter of a short time before you'll experience it. But know that you are not alone. You're not alone. Like Ankh said, we'll be with you even more then than we are normally. All right? Okay. And then so you're responding to the deeper meanings of life, robbing the lower densities. And so you get to realize you're living in two worlds, not one. When your vibration begins to settle in the middle realm, if that's your destiny, then it begins to settle in those densities. That means in the realms between heaven and earth. Some people are kind of undecided. And now you're living in this world, but it's like you're not of the world anymore. That's what Amanda was speaking about. Okay, and now you're living in this world, but it's like you're not of the world anymore. You are reading it on a different plane of consciousness. Everything has a deeper meaning. Okay, it's just like when those of you had the holy tablets, and you were reading and you thought, I got this. Or you were looking at movies like Any Given Sunday, you say, I got this. I know what this commercial, I know what this life, I know what everything means. And then when I came and I started letting you see how I saw it, how deep, it was a deeper meaning under that. And you were like, what? I was looking at that and I couldn't see that? That's right. That's right. But now, by me revealing to you what's really there, it's brought you up into that vibration of star movement, and now you begin to have the light flash in your eye. You see? You transforming into that, and that's why I came here, you see? So my same question is, who do they say I am? All right? Now the reptile, well, he's just a nigga, that's it, right? Okay, but, okay. Okay, you are reading it on a different plane of consciousness. Everything has a deeper meaning. And the message that really is reflecting something back to you about who and what you're being and what you can be. Because everything is about self-realization. So that's what the reflections are showing you. And you're reading that. You're picking that up as an internal preconceived feeling vibration. And so you're working them more on that plane of consciousness, higher. They're still here. Now at some point there will be the shift. Right. The completion of the shift, which is the breakdown of the physical. And you see it's breaking down, right? Look at Florida. Don't it seem like it's breaking down? And the weather, all these fires and earthquakes and floods.
Yes.
Look at Pakistan. Pakistan had almost 40 million people displaced, and I don't know how many hundreds of thousands killed in those floods. And then you got the same floods poured over into India now, and China. And Keith, could you tell us, Keith Amun, about some of the places that you have in these apocalyptic weather events and things?
Yes. Mexico had a really bad earthquake. Pakistan has been getting beat up really bad. Spain, they've been having like a lot of floods and stuff like that. Taiwan has been getting hit back to back over the course of the last several months.
They just had a bad typhoon over there, yeah.
Yes, and Japan has been having problems as well, and they just had their volcano go ahead and erupted.
So it's just all kind of places. It's just bad everywhere.
And the United States has been inundated by a lot of extra powerful storms and floods, flash floods, and fires all over the West Coast. Droughts.
Yep.
In one place. Go ahead.
In Tampa Bay, just got all the water sucked out of it. Palm Harbor, same thing. There's no water. Yes, in Florida.
Yeah. And what happens is that when you have a hurricane, you know, it spirals like clockwise. And when that force of wind goes up the coast and you have inland harbors, well, that wind, when it spirals those harbors back out to the ocean, it leaves all that ground just mud where there used to be a deep body of water. And the people were so fascinated, they were running down that crowd and taking selfies and pictures of one another and all, and the authorities told them, you better get up out of there. Because, see, when that hurricane passes by and that wind loses its grip on that water, it's going to come down back in them bays and them tributaries and them things like a tsunami. And they may not have time, they might be able to see it coming and think misjudge the speed and can't get out there in time and be just like them Egyptian soldiers that were chasing the children of Israel when the Red Sea, which was really the Reed Sea, closed up on them. All right? All right. There's a breakdown of the physical and the transmutation, the transformation into the middle realm, the 5th, 6th, 7th densities. That's considered the middle realm. And this point now, so when you start talking about higher planes, right? Higher planes of vibration, higher planes of existence. So what it is these angelic beings, they started having very negative and low thoughts, diabolical stratagems, which made them wake up, cast down on lower vibratory planes, carnal like beasts and lizards and what have you. And they woke up reptiles and ugly creatures where they used to be very beautiful angels of light. Now they're dark creatures that have fallen down into odious and cursed and damned forms, right? That think evil continuously, like the Bible speaks about in the book of Revelation, chapter 7. All right. The physical is literally going to break down and fall away. Thus you have Nephilim, or the fallen angels. That'll stick with it, right? Remember the movie Left Behind. It's not that the physical is raising its vibration into 5D consciousness. If you put 5D consciousness to every side of the physical body, it will literally explode. So your body, the physical body, is not necessarily going to make the shift. But remember that you're a whole light being. And the spell, one of the greatest aspects of the spell is that these devils, or what you call society, has programmed you to believe that the physical form is your only vehicle to pleasure. Did you all hear me real good? That's very important that you understand that.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
So now you feel that without the fungus clinging to the light, the real you, that you would be no more, or you would be missing the best part of yourself. Now, I told you all many times that what we are, is an enigma. You're a spiritual being projecting a physical experience in the three-dimensional hologramic light show, The Illusion, The Matrix. Remember the movie?
Yes.
Or Avatar, where the real people would be sitting up in a chair and getting plugged into the back of the head, or either inside of laying down in a canister, and they would project their consciousness into another world.
Yes.
That's all that's happening here. So if Neil and all them are living a free and independent life, does that mean that the body, when you're looking at the movie, you forget all about the body in the chair, don't you? with the thing stuck in the back of his or her head.
Exactly.
Or the men and women laying down, or the women laying their body down in a coffin, I mean in the little glass thing on Avatar, right?
Right.
You start realizing that thing, that crippled body, or that thing in the wheelchair is definitely not them, right?
Right.
Sure.
Right. Because as an enigma, the truth is that if all of you where you're sitting right now could imagine an empty seat, and that you allow your imagination, lend it to me so that I can put your soul in another chair, your spirit, your etheric aspect, all of your memories, all of your feelings, your emotions, your personality, and your thoughts into another chair, then what would be left here holding that phone on the class with us? What would be left sitting in that chair where you at? If all those things that constitute the real you were in another chair, what would be there?
Nothing. Nothing.
That's what happens at what you call.
Nothing.
That's what happens at. I love you. That's what happens at what you call death. They're just the thing sitting in a chair or laying down in that little thing, and people crying because the devil has convinced them that the real person has somehow come to an end when they just simply move to another chair.
Exactly.
They never were that thing. That's not what you are. That's just a fungus that was clinging to the light. You all are a whole light being, and thus you're beginning to identify with the lights a lot more. You keep hearing you all, when you testify, you start talking about lights. I have done many healing classes with you all, and then you will see the light of your own spiritual bodies around your hands and arms. Who can identify with that?
I can.
I can.
That's right. So you know there's much more to you than that fungus you see in the mirror. So let me hear you all say, I am not this body.
I am not
this body.
I am not this situation.
I am not this situation.
I'm only watching this happen from above.
I'm
only watching this happen
from above.
I'm only watching.
You'll notice that what I mean by above is when some of you have dreams and they're very vivid, and you see yourself gathered with family or loved ones, and you're in a certain place having a certain experience, and it was wonderful, and you were so excited about it, that gathering, or you and your significant, your lover or whatever, and you wake up and you can't wait to tell them what you experienced. I saw us last night in a dream. We were doing this or that. Remember that?
Sure.
Yeah.
My question again is, who was it that was watching you all? That's the higher self.
Right.
That's the real you. There is no us. I saw us last night. It's only one. We're all fragmented sections of puzzle, pieces to the same puzzle. We're all part of the one. There's only one thing here. And the devil is rebelling against the oneness of which they are inextricable part, right?
Sure.
But sometimes if you got cancer in one part of your body, you got to let it go for the other part to live, right?
Indeed.
Right.
Well, think of the devil as cancers. Cancerous tumors, malignancies that have to be removed. All right, it's time for you all to go out and perform miracles for the world again. And bless you all for being faithful and true to that.
It's cloudy over here. Storm's coming in.
Okay, well, move the clouds. You want to move some clouds, Amanda?
Okay, let me go outside. Hold on.
All right. Let me turn out the light.
Okay.
All right, Amanda.
Okay, hold on.
You had to put on something because you felt it was a little cool out there, didn't you?
It's been cool. I had to walk to my bedroom. I had to pause while these important class. Okay, it's not fair because clouds move.
You see the clouds?
Yeah, the clouds are, they're moving on their own.
Okay, let's move them to the left. In the name of Amun-re. Move them to the left. You see?
I saw a glitch of it, yes. I could stop.
That's right. I just want you to know you can move the clouds too. You like that? You like that? You like that, Amanda?
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. Because the clouds are in you, and you are the clouds. That's why the kittens are coming, because they're one with you and they know it. So when you move the clouds, you're just moving your own mind, because you are one with all, and all is one with you. So you see, you are the clouds, and you are that body, you are that house, you are the grass, you are the wind, you are the sunlight, you are everything.
The clouds
right?
actually pause. Yeah, the clouds actually pause.
That's right, they pause, lock, and stop. And they can stop again, see?
Wow, thank you so much.
I love it. I know. It's amazing. It's amazing unless you realize and remember who and what you really are. You are God. All right, next transformer disciple. What are you going to move for us? All right, family. Go ahead.
Move it to the right.
Okay.
In the name of Amun-re.
All right. Got a lot of people talking at once now. Let's not let that energy in there. Who's going to move something next? Be clear.
Roll back.
Don't mumble in the back of the phone. Talk to us.
Roll back.
Put your mouth on the phone.
Roll back.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Anukas. Anukas, go ahead. Please. Is that you, Amun-re? Okay, Anukas, go ahead.
No, it's not me.
Okay. All right. Who's that sister that's going to move something?
Me, that
I
was
love
people.
you. All right. Can you move something for us, Kiefer? Come in.
In the name of Amun.
What are you going to move, Goddess?
It's a star.
All right. Very good. I see it.
Clockwise. And it's moving clockwise. Got a nice aura around it too. Okay. Drop down. Dropping down. He's going down.
I think they're going to do that to a nigga like that, man.
Amun-re, come closer.
He's coming black. You think they want to put him in salt too and vomit? What the fuck?
All right.
In the name of Amun-re, stop. Thank you, family.
I love you all.
Love you too.
Who's going to move something next? Who's in London? Okay, Maror, go ahead. What you going to move for us?
The whole creation.
All right.
And they watching what you are. You going to be cool?
Who's that talking in the background? Can y'all ask them to please be quiet?
All right.
All right, Maror. Go ahead.
Long skirt, okay. All right, okay.
Family, please mute your phone.
Okay.
Okay, mute your phone.
I didn't say.
Don't worry about the devil. Go ahead on. I'll curse the devil with a storm inside of him bigger than Ian.
Let me move the whole creation up with all the 144,000 elite in the name of the Messiah, Amun-re.
All right. Which way you going to move it?
All the way up. Going up. And they got a big fuzz of light, a real big fuzz of light. I never seen it that big before.
Oh.
In the name of the Messiah, all creation go to the right. And it's going to the right.
Left. I'm sorry.
Moving right.
Okay. Right.
All creation go up again. And in the name of the Messiah, Amun-re. Going up. Going up, and it got bigger. In the name of the Messiah, bring it closer. In the name of the Messiah, bring it closer. Amun-re.
Moving closer.
Moving closer. I can see the prison of it. It looks real sharp. All creation go clockwise circle in the name of the Messiah, Amun-re. Clockwise circle.
Moving clockwise.
Up and down and around. Yep.
All right. I love you.
Next
person.
Before you got that money.
Okay.
In the name of Amun-re, the Messiah, the one and only true Messiah. Star, move to the right.
Before you came out your belly, man.
Moving right.
Moving right.
You got
In the name of Amun. Thank you, family. In the name of Amun-re, the Messiah. Star, move to the left.
Going back left.
Going left.
You all have to practice this all the time.
Follow. In the name of Amun-re, the Messiah. Star, drop down.
It's already dropping down.
Yep, drop it down.
In the name of Amun-re, the Messiah. Star, go up.
All right.
Now think about the arrogance of these. Think about the arrogance of these beings. They lead the whole creation moving, where they doubt that hurricanes and nature can be moved against them for their arrogance and evil. You see the ignorance of these devils? That I can connect and link with anything and anybody, and then imagine the audacity of them playing with the real Creator, trying to block His mission.
So keep the fucking do you, man.
Now, when it touches them, when they get prostrated with their own evil, their eyes gonna be big as $bow. Go ahead.
In the name of, that's right, Messiah, you ain't playing. In the name of Amun-re, the Messiah. Star, move clockwise. Going clockwise.
Moving clockwise.
In the name of Amun-re, the Messiah, the one and only true Messiah. All creation, come closer. Moving close. Wow.
It is coming closer. Closer.
Thank you, Messiah.
I love you all. All right. Unless there's a new person here that wants to experience performing their first miracle, and we welcome and love you. We embrace you. Welcome home if you're here, and you haven't been so beat down psychologically by society and reptilians that you're afraid to voice it. Believe it. It's just a fireside chat. Performing miracles is what we do. All right, everybody, let's continue this class. Please mute your phones, everybody. Maybe we can get this ignorant person in the background. They ignorant like that nigga Kane in Millersville. That's what a demon will do. They'll call into the class and leave the line open. Now let's send curses. Let's all, y'all know this being needs to be cursed. Let's curse this being together. Just like you move the stars, move into them, and everybody that blocks these classes, and the media, and everybody that plans diabolical stratagems against us. Move evil into them. Move it into them. See, now it's a funny thing. These devils know it's real, but they keep on tempting fate, thinking that our divine love will make us weak where we won't use our power to destroy them. Give them a hashtag. You're a liar. We will. I want everybody to look at the movie Eli. The Book of Eli with Denzel Washington.
I just watched that a couple weeks ago.
And I want you to know I'm much more serious than Eli. I am much more serious than Eli. Don't play with us. That's not just a warning, it's a promise. It's not a mendacious threat, it's a fact. Don't play with us. You're not doing your job, you're doing the devil's work in God's name. A fake God, Satan. Okay. Now we're going to go on. At this point, the physical is literally going to break down and fall away. It's not that the physical is raising its vibration into 5D consciousness. If you put 5D consciousness into every cell of this physical body, it would likely explode. So it's not about raising the frequency of this body. It's about shifting your frequency internally. That's what Malachi kept meaning when he told you all you have to turn yourselves inside out. You understand now? I saw the way you gasped, where your mouth is like it hit you, right? Oh, okay. And so, as the shift completes and the lower densities unfold, which is what is happening now, then you carry on. The physical falls away, and you carry on in spirit-like body, but in the middle realm, not the very highest planes like Ilium, but not here where you can die. So when you see people, you think this is a tragedy when what you call die. They done programmed you to believe in that. Let me read this again. And so, as the shift completes, and remember, when a person passes on, the shift is completed for them here. Or they already had their graduation before you. And so, as the shift completes and the lower densities unfold, which is what is happening now, then you, the real you, carry on. The physical aspect falls away, and you carry on in spirit light body into the middle realm. Is everybody clear?
Yeah.
Can you all hear? All right.
Sure.
All right. Worldwide transformations. Worldwide transformations. There's lots of discussions these days about the shift to 5D consciousness. What does that mean exactly? How can we possibly thrive from it? Calling all wave riders. We're calling all wave riders. We've got to ride the wave. How to thrive in 5D. Now, I want you to understand that 5D is just a realization or acceptance or acknowledging of a reality. You don't have to go from here to there in order to get to heaven. Heaven is every place all the time, but you just have to raise your consciousness to connect with it. If you're the kind of person like this school teacher, I'll let move here, Leo Moore. He could go to Tamaray anyway. It sure is ugly here. This ain't nothing but hell. It looks so dead now. But all that black evil light that nonsense was coming from out of Leo Moore. It was a beautiful place. You see, now he's dead because he's left behind. But he was dead when he was alive. Dead to the world. Right? All right. Calling all wave riders. How to thrive in 5D. To me, 5D consciousness is where we're in the deeper flow, the deeper meaning, the underlying meaning of life itself. Ya'al Hayu, Ya'al Hayu. The movement of consciousness, which is flowing from the source and through reality to pick it up has the sense of higher knowing. This is the way to go now. It landed in a flash, right? And it gets faster than light. Holofracturalist, crossing the event horizon. That's what you and I were doing, Lucas. We just didn't do it. We didn't walk all the way into the light. Since the beginning of time, we have been searching for a deeper understanding of our experience and our existence. Civilizations have risen and fallen, leaving behind traces of wisdom. Are there clues in these traces that can help us unite this ancient wisdom with today's cutting-edge scientific research? Can we be in nature in a more holistic way that will solve many of the major problems facing our world today? Are you ready? Crossing the event horizon. Maybe instead of looking for fundamental particles, we should start looking for fundamental principles of the vivid, of which reptiles have no principles. Start looking for a fundamental pattern of creation. You know, the ducks like a triangle. Start looking for a fundamental pattern in creation, because beyond the pattern, we understand the principle behind the identity. Now we have the key to creation, the key to the universe. Eventually, you'll find that the key was geometry. That's why the ducks were in the pyramid. In the boundaries is the possibility of infinite divinity, the God in you. And thus, infinity and infinite are complementary. If our years are expanding, then there must be something contracting. That's the old world. There must be some compression happening in order to get expansion. There must be a feedback between the expansion and the contraction. The fact that we could start this information feedback through infinity, through an infinite amount of information, you're transferring that information through your boundary, through the infinite within yourself. Everything we see in the universe is a division of the energy density of the vacuum in various spaces. The biological resolution is the link between the large and the small. I'll give you an example of that. Amanda was saying she could see the solar system inside of herself, which is true. But when you go outside, you can also see the solar system, where you can see the planets in the sky, the moon around the planets, and you can see the sun. You know the solar system has the sun in the center, and then the planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, arranged in order that revolve around the sun, and the moon you see that revolves around the earth that you stand on. That's the solar system in action. But then when you look at yourself, man, woman, you see you have a solar plexus, because as above, so below. And in your solar plexus, sun, S-O-N or S-U-N, you have that eternal light, that etheric, non-etheric sun in you that makes you maintain a constant body temperature with heat of 98.6. So if it's 30 degrees or 10 degrees below zero outside of you, your temperature is still 98.6 because of the fire that burns inside of you. That's how you can burn calories or get hot. That's that heat inside of you. That's your sun. And your system revolves around it. You have a circulatory system that goes in a circle around that sun. So they call it the solar plexus, which is the same as the solar system. As above, so below. But some beings are out of line with that oneness. They're trying to create their own new world, whatever, like they done lost their mind. And then below you, you see the atom. what you remember in school, the teacher would draw it, and it looked just like the solar system, right? You have the quark in the center, and the electrons going around it. And they called it an atom. And what did they call the name of the first man, son? Adam.
Adam.
As above, so below. It's the same working on every level. Regardless of how you look at it, it's the same thing. Whether you look at the solar system in the sky, or you look at the solar system in the dark with your eyes closed like Amanda, it's the same solar system. There's only one. Right. The one that's looking at all of us in that dream. That's the one. When the scripture says, make your eyes single again, they're not talking about these two. They talk about that one. The eye of all, or the all-seeing eye. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
All right. So, I digress. No, I'm just playing. Okay. All right. I'd like you all now to start seeing yourself as the center of all of this. Remember, Malachi kept telling you all that you're the center of existence? Now you're starting to understand it. That's right. Start seeing yourself as the center of this. Everyone else is seeing themselves as the center of their universe as well. And that we are all equal, and that we are all one. Now, how do you know when beings are elevated from a higher consciousness, higher angelic beings, or gods or goddesses? Because they see themselves as we're all one. And how do devils see themselves? I gotta get mine, me, mine, you, me against you. That's you, and this is me. You know, they're cut off from reality. For example, it might attack around physical and substantial matters where it's concerned about attachment or loss of material goods or loss of material wealth or material support. Or it might fragment around emotional seasons, you know, relationships, where relationships between children and loved ones break down. For example, it's a sense of loss and grief about that. Or it might attack the plane of the intellect due to the condition of society and then our upbringing. Or else it could be the karmic plane where we're reliving or re-engaging past life experiences. So this fragmentation causes any kind of consciousness to form, and with the lower self ego identity. In other words, on the Matrix, you think you're the man and woman sitting in the chair with the thing stuck in the back of your head. Or on Avatar, you think you're the crippled man in the tube. And this determines the vibrational frequency of the being at the point of its lowest frequency vibration in the lower planes of consciousness. So that man can be crippled, right? Or killed, but not the real man. He can jump through buildings and wall to wall, you know, move stars. He can't. You understand? The real you can't be hurt, and there's no fear. What is there to fear? There's nothing here but you. And then you can understand the problem when he keep telling you, do unto your brother and your sister as what? But not the devil. His is do unto them before they do unto you. You don't want to be around that. You understand it? It's not part of the oneness. It's the devil. Imagining itself somehow unique and greater, more powerful. It's not equal. Two, it thinks it's over you or something like that. And the truth is, it's the lowest of the low. Right? That's right. But at some point, the soul comes awake, and you reconnect with the source of all life, and you feel that amazing interconnectivity, peace, tranquility, spaciousness, timelessness, and the simple joy of being. Now, we can go into the inner journey. Do you want to save that for next class, or you want to start that now?
It's up to you.
I have a question.
No, it's up to you all. Okay, what is the question?
Can you go over the fragmentation again?
Say it again.
Can you review fragmentation again, please?
Do me a favor. Can you write that down for the next class, because it's quite involved.
Okay.
And I'll go into it. Please don't forget, okay?
Right.
And I'll go into that in depth, right? But in as simplicity as I can put it, there's one oversoul, and we're all that soul. All is that soul. And it can fragment into different pieces, just like on the Avatar or the Matrix. When you got the man and the woman sitting in the chair, that's them. And then when you see them in the Matrix, that's also them. So when a fragmented soul is when I talk to you, and where you are right now, are you in the physical? Are you physical, spiritual, soulful, etheric? Which one are you?
I'm all of those things.
So you're fragmented, right?
Yes. Okay.
You see that?
Yes.
Because there's no difference in you, because it's just like as above, so below. Atom is atom, sun is sun, solar plexus is solar system, all is one. But when it appears to be fragmented, you understand somewhat until we get to the next class to review it good?
Yes, I do.
All right, I just want to not leave you hanging like that. All right, can you all please remind me next class to start on the inner journey?
Yes.
The inner journey. All right. Let me say something. You all know that they're doing everything in their power to cut off the truth from the world and block it, right? Why doesn't the devil want people to hear this truth? Because the people are not being offered an alternative to the lies. Are you following what I'm saying? They're being programmed and groomed in society to believe that the only way is the devil and his way of thought. And there is nothing else. You're trapped in the matrix. But when you come and you're being offered the real glorious truth about yourself, that you're not just that body trapped in this crippled container, you are all. You are life itself. You are God. You are one with all. You are infinite and eternal, all powerful, all knowing. At some level of your consciousness, there's nothing you can't do. All can, you can. All does, Star Mover, you do. The devil does not want you to think like that and be freed from the prison that he created inside of you mentally. Are you following me?
Yes.
He wants you to be trapped in fear and ignorance and confusion. Are you following what I mean?
Yes.
It's just like problem, reaction, solution. The government blows up the towers on 9/11. That's a problem. And your reaction is supposed to be fear. And then your solution is to run to the government for protection from the evil, Muslims or whatever, right? Problem, reaction, solution. They generate these problems in your life, like economy and scarcity and plagues and diseases. And when they generate these problems, the reaction is fear, isn't it?
Yes.
What we're going to do when they cut off, they keep talking about they're going to cut off Social Security, they're going to cut off Medicaid, they're going to cut off everything. So people that have worked all their life, it makes them have fear. Problem is what they do to you, and then the reaction is fear. And the solution is you run to the government like, what are you going to do about this? And they're the ones that's doing it.
Exactly.
Trapped over. Now you're definitely trapped. They got you. They create fear of what they're doing to you or what they can do to you. Your reaction is naturally fear. And then when you get frightened, your solution is to run to the same ones that's creating the fear for help. Oh, they got you. Well, the devil asks you, do you ever in life feel like you're with your back to a cliff and there's a circle of fire roaring ever closer to you? It was him that put you into that situation in your mind. Because your choice, 9/11, is going to be either to jump or burn. Now, what kind of damn choice is that?
It's
9/11 is 911, an emergency call.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them start burning and then jump. They burn and jump. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the devil puts people in horrible. How many of you all saw resolute pictures after that where you saw in the fire and smoke all these demonic creatures in the smoke and fire? Couldn't you see them faces?
Yes.
Because that was nothing but government. I told you I saw pictures of the Republicans together, and they were nothing short of demons.
Mm.
Now, where do y'all think you should strike your vengeance on them again, Florida? And how should it come this time? Because they have an incredibly large ego creation movement, and they really do believe that
the White House.
Well, wait a minute now. Everybody is not evil, you know what I mean? So you can't paint it with a broad brush like that, you know.
You just asked where to start.
I love you. Yeah, I love you. But what I mean is that you have to really contemplate these things real carefully, or you become that which you profess to hate. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes.
You really have to be careful. Remember, I told you can't be a goddess that runs around wild like a dog off a leash, and you get mad with somebody and they end up with some high heels and ashes standing there with smoke coming out, and then you regret. Then you're like, I'm sorry. No, you made the crazy move.
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late. You done burnt that woman up like that. You know what I'm saying? Now that. Yeah, but you might be sorry, like you didn't mean that. You didn't think all that was gonna happen. No, I know, but don't be too quick to not say you won't regret, or the Creator will never let you have access to that type of ability if you're not mature enough to handle it in a responsible manner. You follow me? They did some horrible things to my mother, and I got mad and sent bad storms on Detroit. Horrible. But when I was walking in the sunlight here, I realized that it was men, women, and little children, everybody. You can't just send nothing on Detroit. You're going to have to learn how to be exact. Like when somebody's looking at a certain star in Africa, you link with that star and move it, not the whole creation, you see. Mm-hmm. You have to ask the all to please help you in a system with connecting with only the negative, evil energies and beings that are working against this mission to block it and try to do worse, ugly plans to try to isolate people so that they can move on to the next level of their evilness. You follow me? Mm-hmm. Right. Trying to isolate people so they can move on to the next levels of their evil, filthy plans, right? To extinguish the light, right? To cut off the truth, because they know, just like you do, that you all are truly ascending and becoming aware, and the truth will make you free.
Yes.
The devil does not want the captive free. You hear me?
That's true.
Right. That's why the government's priority has always been to prevent the rise of a black messiah. All right? Now, I'm asking you all, what are you all going to do to combat that? isolation.
Ask for help with it.
I'm asking for help. That help is you.
No,
the
you
help
ask
is you.
what to do, yes.
What you do
and
is start putting
the right one.
What the truth is, what you do is keep putting this stuff out to the public everywhere. Let them know where we are and create other forums for us to teach in. Like Delonte definitely said over 2 weeks ago that he created a Facebook page for us to teach class on. Is that finished, Patah, yet? Patah, Delonte, are you going to respond? Okay.
You have to start posting a lot, way more than you're doing.
Yeah, you got to post it a whole lot. And you got to post tonight all over Facebook, but you got to post on there just the last class link and then the class information and both my, and both my email addresses. You have to post it on there so they can contact us because I'm getting floods of contacts from Facebook from every group that they, you never miss your water till your well run dry. Now they missing us because all they got is that nigger and cracker bullshit. That's all they got now. And they running on fumes. And the devil wants everybody to get frustrated and just give up and turn loose to the truth and just fall away and rock with them left behind. Fight for your existence. Fight for the existence of your brothers and sisters. Because if it's not all the way right, it's not right at all.
True.
Now, just like this light is coming through me to you, do you think your brothers and sisters are not equal to you where they deserve the same thing as you?
Yes, they do.
Anybody that thinks that way, they are of that reptilian species. If they think, I got mine, they better get theirs or whatever. I got mine. You know that's not the way to think. Get your minds right and raise up your vibrations and open your mind and reconnect to the reality that they're all your brothers and sisters, and at one time you were just as lost and confused as them. And you thought you knew what you was doing and where you were at, and find out that you were more blind than Jose Feliciano, Stevie Wonder, and Ray Charles all in one. But certainly, we have removed from you your bill, so today your sight is getting sharp.
Yeah.
You have a long way to go.
Yeah.
And part of the
Messiah?
thing, yes.
I need to let the class know, I did open a Twitter for our class, Messiah /144. And keep Amun.
Okay, good. Please say it again. Now, this is what you all supposed to be writing down.
It's Twitter, and it is Messiah /144 at Kifa Amun, and that's Kifa with 2 E's, and you will see
Kifa with 2
the
E's.
profile. Yes, Kifa with 2 E's, and you will see a picture.
She's gonna read it again and slow down in a minute. Go ahead. You're gonna see a picture of what?
Okay. It's a picture of the Messiah, and it's I think it was out of like maybe the Holy Tablets or something.
Okay. We'll recognize that. Now, could you say it, the name that we need to go to on Twitter, but a lot slower? Go ahead.
Messiah.
MESSIAH. Is this capitals or small letters?
Just the capital M and the rest.
Capital M and Messiah. Capital MESSIAH in small letters. Messiah.
And
what?
then there's the /.
You know the long line that's vertical but is leaning to the right. /.
Yeah. Yes.
144.
144. Correct.
Messiah with the capital M /. and then the numbers 144 all together. Okay, go ahead.
And then that's at.
And the at sign, like an email. What? At what?
Keefa.
Keefa, and that's capital K. E-E-F-A. Capital K-E-E-F-A in small letters. Amun, is that a capital A?
Correct.
And then Amun, Keefa Amun, one word. Keefa Amun,
yes.
no separation. Capital A.
Nope.
And then small M-U-N. So say it all together for us again, please. We just go to Twitter and then type in what?
Messiah /
144.
Yes. At
Keefa Amun.
And that's it.
That's it. And we'll be there on your lovely page. So let's start posting it. And then y'all got to get that address to Twitter and put it all over Facebook and all that so they'll know where to come. But we need other people to open up in LinkedIn and every aspect of media. We need people to open up radio shows. Now, would you open up us a radio show and I'll pay for it?
I'll look into it. I'm not sure what it entails, but I will look into it.
Well, I know what it entails. You're extremely intelligent and smart, and you can do that real easy. That's what I know about you. Okay. You're very smart. If you want that to happen, it will. So we would really love you to do that. That we need that right now, okay?
Okay, Messiah.
Thank you so much. All right. And everybody else, we need you to support and open up your own sites on media. You know how to do these things, and you know how to ask people when you don't know. If you can move stars, you can open up this media and get thousands of people to class and open us up even more than before. Get radio stations, find out places we can get on and host on radio stations, and we can pay for radio stations. And we need people to support us financially. Get your spiritual packages. Get this truth out there. And never fail to participate in classes and stay with us just like we stay with you in your time of need. We are one love. Remember, we are one. And we will do unto each other as we will that be done unto us. Peace. Amun-RAYAY, servant to the 144,000. Peace.